Like, yeah, but our trains are bigger.
Yeah. There you go. Okay, now let's just, okay, that is a, what is this over here?
That is a power plant.
That is power plant.
What's the max speed on these locomotives?
10 miles an hour.
I mean, unofficial, like if you wanted to...
Level grade, no curbs, probably about 20, 25 miles an hour.
So you couldn't get up to 88 and get the DeLorean back in time.
Doesn't work that way. Water cooling. And right over there, you can't see it, but right over there, down the road is where the fireworks go off.
They block off the road when that's happening?
Well, they block off that road. That road.
Yeah.
And the other road, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because during holidays, one day, they send them off from over here, too.
If I have my bearings, then this road is the Contemporary.
Yes.
Right, okay.
Well, I have a compass in my watch.
Then, what is,
That curves around and goes over to the Polynesian
yeah,
and the golf course. Shades of green.
okay, and what about this road? Where's that going?
We park back here.
Oh, the parking
Back
lot.
here is Disney. Back behind us, next one we got is Disney University.
Uh-huh.
On this side is costuming, and then further over is our own store called Cast Connections and Property Control. That's parking.
And you never know if you put the keys to the kingdom forward.
We didn't go there.
They talk about it.
I heard it's a new tour. I haven't taken it. I've got. They took you in the laundry and everything. Yeah, in the monorail. Yeah, I've got to take that tour yet.
Yeah, I took the keys to the kingdom. Nothing with the monorail or anything. Just
This is our first behind-the-scenes tour.
tunnels and
Well, welcome. Having fun so far?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you always stay above ground.
Well, first behind-the-scenes tour of Disney. We went on one, the Intrepid, back in New York. My member's there. That's an aircraft carrier museum.
now it's like
One of the dumbest questions we ever heard once on board a destroyer. Somebody asked the tour guide, "How many times was this ship sunk during the war?" Seriously.
the only thing that kind of is weird is when you go down into the tunnel, like go past one of our break rooms, and when they stop, to explain to you about that thing in our break room, and we're over there eating. It's kind of weird, but I could understand it being, for you, saying, oh, it's a pretty good
Ever think about the movie Unstoppable when running the trades?
Is that when you keep the dog?
Yeah, I've seen that now. That couldn't happen. It would.
So there's no dead man break.
Some of the hardest working frontline staff at Disney has. It's almost like it was 100 years ago, except for the diesel versus the wood, right?
And the radios.
Radios and the Mapo.
I'm talking about operating what you physically have to do.
Yeah, I would guess.
You ever see the shows on the new trains? I mean, it's like they're almost like jet pilots. They have to
Yeah.
program stuff in.
At least you don't have to worry about Apache Indians shooting at you.
That's true. Papa Smurf.
Hey, Smurf.
Smurf! You have a blowgun get his attention?
What's going to happen now if Papa Smurf ever gets done here?
It's my little chatterbox over here.
That's Papa Smurf, not Papa Smurf.
I like Pop-Up. We should change his name. Pop-Up Smurf. So what he's going to do is now he's
You
going
don't
to
see him blow his tag.
Literally.
take some waste that's been soaked in diesel. He will light it. He'll stand there like this to give you the Statue of Liberty, make for some great pictures. And then he will throw it in front of the nozzle. Hopefully he'll get in front of the nozzle. If not, he'll have to relight another piece to throw it in. And he will light it, and you'll hear it ignite like you heard before. You'll be a little closer this time. While he's doing that, I'll be over behind this building. Call me when he's done.
Incoming!
Behind the wheel, you may see some flames come out. You may see it glowing. Sometimes you do, some days you don't.
Fire's not supposed to come out of any place.
Okay. What's not supposed to happen and when it happens is
Two different things.
So
things that happen. It's not a picture of that.
So he's going to blow the stack again.
Hey, Ken, did you turn everything on?
Yes, boss, I did.
Okay.
Yes, Papa.
You always have communications with your fellow engineer so that you know what's going on.
Yeah, that's his Russian name, Papa Smoke.
What's going on?
So that's what happens to the old towels.
Papa Smoke. Remember, glove tan, Bob. Glove tan.
Hey, they don't say I have two left hands for nothing.
Right. As long as it's not 2 left feet.
Don't quit your day job.
Pyro.
And his dream is to be a greeter at Walmart.
He's well on his way.
Yes, he is. Get your stuff, get out.
Rainy.
Okay. Don't try this at home.
I have.
Alice?
Ooh, fire. Fire.
You're fired.
Okay, now listen for the ignition. Like,
I'll be over here. That was pretty impressive, but I get to do the cool stuff. I get to blow the whistle.
what are we going to call you? Whistle Smurf?
You blew it out? Really, Bob?
Take 2.
Oh,
You
fail.
turn on the fuel, right?
I turned on both, yes.
Do you believe him?
No. Is it on now? Okay, the fuel wasn't on before.
That would help.
Do that
Okay,
again.
ready
Let's
again?
do that again.
Yay.
There we go.
Sorry, I had a senior moment. I can say that now after my last birthday.
So for main engine start, ignition.
There we go.
Yay! Yay!
That's all fire.
Yeah, I like Pop-Off Smurf better. I'm right behind you, Johanna. I won't let anything happen to you I won't do myself.
I do know that my grandfather and my
I'm great.
No, you make a good camera mount.
You know that Johnson bar we were talking about is a J bar. That controls, there's it slides back and forth with a slide. And it can be partially over, all the way over. So that controls the power. Now back in the day, if the fireman and the engineer didn't like each other, the fireman would put that all the way over the slot and leave it there so it used lots of steam. Once they got going, he could back that off about halfway or less than half the speed. The fireman didn't have to work as much shoveling coal. So if he left it all the way open, that guy had to work his scale off. And there were a lot of fights because of that type of thing. So anyway, did you enjoy the roundhouse?
Yeah, yay!
It's not round?
Yeah.
All right.
Square house.
Rectangle. Well, Walt always wanted a safety division. In the 40s, back in the 50s, they decided to make a movie called Mary Poppins. They borrowed $5.5 million. A lot of money. Mary Poppins was so financially successful, they paid that loan off in less than 6 months. They gave Walt a lot of money. And he opened a safety division. He called his safety division MAPO. Remember he sent out the MAPO box? M.A. Mary C.O. Poppins. A lot of that same thing was done. And now that they had an acronym, they need the proper name. So Walt called our safety division the Material and Product Office, or MAPO. That's what it's still known as today. Well, Walt went to MAPO with the idea of opening Disney World, and he said, there are some problems on the railroad. I need you to work out safety solutions for me. One is, firemen sometimes put water in the boiler at the wrong time, let the water get too low, and cause the boiler to blow up. We need something that will not allow that. The other problem is, engineers sometimes run red lights. That cause accidents. We need something to control that. So MAPO came back to Walt and they said, well, low water is no problem. We'll put a sensor in the boiler. As soon as the water gets below the sensor, MAPO or Mary will go off and go beep, 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 which kind of translates to, hey, your water's getting low. It's not dangerous yet, but before it gets dangerous, I'm going to shut off the fire. Mary shuts off the fuel, the fire goes out. All they have to do is put water back in above the sensor, relight it, and good to go. The second problem, running the red light's a little more difficult. But what we've come up with is we will take a box that gives off a signal and attach it with a cable to the box. You look at the screen, the shadow is going way on the other side of the roof. Now we're protected by a glass wall here, which helps us, and the Roy is not the loudest, it's the quietest of all the pop off. But we'll attach this signal box to the track, and then we'll take another box and attach it to the tender. And when the light is red, the box on the ground will give off a signal. When the other box crosses over, it will read that signal and apply the brakes. We have a test that we're going to do here. Every train goes through it every day. And we'll come automatically to a stop. Then once a month, we come in actually at 4 o'clock in the morning, many hours before the park opens, with 2 crews, and we bring out 2 trains. The first train goes out and goes through a green light and turns it red. The second train comes up behind and runs the red light. We do that the whole way around at every red light to make sure that safety system is working. If something's happening and that safety system doesn't work, we have another backup system. Every engine has a GPS on it that sends out a signal. Not because we're going to get lost going around the track. If our safety system goes down, someone sits at a website and monitors the trains with a radio and says slow down, speed up, whatever. It doesn't allow them to get too slow. I'm talking, and here we just did our safety test. That blue light indicates that it's activated. And now all we have to do is get off. Remember that box I showed you where it did the test? They hit the reset button, and we're off to go. Now we're going to do a blowdown test where we actually blow down. We use special additives to our water to keep the minerals and stuff down out. But we also use blowdown to help blow some of them contaminants out. We do that over, and this when We would normally blow it down past the sensor also to test merit. It's already been done on this train. All the tests have been done, or you wouldn't be allowed on it. Today we'll just do a simulation to give you an idea. You'll see the steam come blowing out this side.
You'll do it over the water.
Over the water. In the winter we warm it for the gators.
Are there gators?
This is Florida. There are gators everywhere. Out in our 7 Seas lagoon. You don't ever see big gators. Disney has an animal control division. I'm sure when they get too big, they probably take them out, give them to Gatorland. I don't know, but you don't see any big ones. You see smaller ones.
How do they keep them from coming up into the park?
They don't.
Oh, if
It
they want,
happens.
oh, it does happen.
About a year ago, they caught one in a restaurant.
Did they really? Oh, my goodness.
Men's room or ladies' room?
I'm not supposed to talk about this.
Talk about close-up Gatorade.
Now here, I don't know where we're stopping. If the other train is rotation, we are not actually in theory in rotation till we hit Main Street. So if the other train is over by Frontierland, we're not allowed to go in and interfere with its timing. We'll have to come in behind it. If it's up at Main Street or something like that, we'll be out of here before and won't interfere with its timing. So if you hear, we're out of here. That means we're out of here. They got the radio call that says gas clearance. Now, remember I said originally there were only 2 stations, one at there was no station back here. In 1988 to celebrate
Times
they
are
decided to
perfect.
build a train station back here. I don't know if you remember, I thought when I first thought it was kind of cheap looking, it was meant pipe with canvas over it. Well, what I didn't know at the time was it was only supposed to be here for 2 years, so they weren't going to put a lot of money in it. But everybody liked it so well they decided to leave it. Okay? Back then they called it Mickey's Birthday Land. They changed the name and allowed the train station to stay here. It's called Mickey's Starland. Then in 96 for the Magic Kingdom's 25th anniversary, they did a refurbishment, changed the name to Mickey's Toontown Fair, and allowed the train station to stay here. Now because of the refurbishment and everything here, they built us a brand new heavy-duty train station that looks like a barn. I don't have any problem with the barn. As a small child, Walt played in the barn in Marceline. He loved that barn. He called it a safe place. When he did his backyard railroad, he built a replica of the barn he played in as a kid. This barn looks nothing like Walt's barn. And because Walt did have something to do with it, you would think they would have made it look like Walt's barn. They used Walt's Backyard Railroad logo on the front of it, but it looks nothing like it. When we get done with our water and coffee that we're heading for next, we're going to go to the train station. I got pictures, show you all that stuff, and a few more stories. I'm going to have it all out. Now, if he's doing it for real, that thing will blink like crazy. If it's just going to be part of the show, we're actually taking water. Right in here, there's a pump. We add chemicals and stuff to it and then pump it up there. I don't know if it's done automatically. I assume I've never seen anybody do it. I assume it's kind of like the toilet thing, you know, it gets so low, pump thing. Now, does everybody know that Mickey was not the first character to make money for Walt?
Yeah.
Who was that?
Oswald.
Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. Exactly. Oswald the Lucky Rabbit was syndicated by a man named Charles Mintz in New York City. Mintz contacted Walt and said, I'd like you to come to New York City so we can have a meeting. So Walt and Lillian got on a train and headed to New York City. When they got there, Walt was in the meeting with Mintz. Mintz said to Walt, you know, you don't own Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. I do. Mintz can copyright it. A lot of that thievery went on in the early movie industry. He said, you know what else, Walt? You don't have any animators to work for you. I've hired them all away. You know, Walt, you're a terrible businessman. But you can come to work for me. And Walt said, no, that's not going to happen. Tim and Lillian got back on the train, and headed for California. Bye-bye.
Have a good day today.
Thank
No.
you.
You got to put you to sleep, didn't you?
No!
Absolutely not.
We have plenty of coffee.
That comes later. Yeah, I got the coffee for him. I don't need that. So they got on the train headed back to New York City. As they're riding along the train, Walt's telling William the story about how he worked in Kansas City. He was a starving artist. He worked for a newspaper that featured little cartoon characters that were used in the advertising. He didn't make much money. He lived in a small apartment. He would go to the butcher shop, the baker shop, buy day-overs and leftovers, day-olds that he lived on. One day he came home from the baker's shop, and he's eating some bread, and a little mouse comes out of the corner. And he threw that mouse in his tongue. That mouse took good thing, because every day after that, he would come out of the corner and Walt would feed him. The mouse got so tame, he would come up and eat out of Walt's hand. As he's telling William the story, he's throwing on a cocktail napkin. He turns the napkin towards her, and he says, "This is the character. I think I'm going to make it my next character." I call him
Mickey Mouse.
Mortimer. 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 What up for your name? He said, "You name like Mickey." And Walt agreed. That just tells us that Mickey was born on a train. Now, a couple of side stories to this is before Walt and William were married, William dated a guy named Mickey. And we're going to let that one just lie right there. Now, second true story is Oswald actually came home to us in 2006. Because President Bob Iger contacted Universal. Bought out 10 years ago. We had sports announcers. Who was that sports announcer?
Can't think of his name, but I remember we traded him.
Al Michaels, who worked for us, ABC, ESPN. His best buddy was John Madden, who worked for NBC Universal and did Monday Night Football. They wanted to work together. So the first time ever type trade, we traded Al Michaels to NBC Universal for Oswald the Lucky Rabbit and the original 26 cartoon. When asked about it, Al Michaels said, "Well, someday my name will probably be the answer to a trivia question." And Oswald had no comment. What we're going to do now is we're going to go for that water and coffee break and a bathroom break. The bathrooms are on the other side of City Hall. So if you need a bathroom, go over there first and then come back to the very first building. It's called Package Pickup. I'll have water and coffee in there for you. But before that, we're going to go down the handicap ramp. As we go down the handicap ramp, the engine will be right there at the same height. If you'd like the picture taken standing next to the name Roy Bid from the train, I'll be up there first, and I'll be glad to take the picture for you. Down here waiting.
I get 4.5 hours per memory cards.
The hour stop goes.
We're up there.
Main Street Station, everybody. Focus out again.
Yep.
Our next stop will be Frontierland Station.
Go here.
Where you going? Michael?
Oh,